Hi, Misha here, and this is a gun of the day that I'm going to be in front of the camera for, because I've got an interesting gun that came in this week. This is model 98 Mauser, a Kar.98K. Nothing too bizarre there, and if you see the code, it's in SVW.MB, which is the last code that Mauser used in April of 1945. What's funny is they also used SVW.45 and everything because they had multiple blocks running at once. And these are also known for being French occupation guns. France would liberate around 60,000 Kar.98s from the Mauser factory. They would have over 50,000 built for them. And typically your French guns will have a French final proof mark. This one does not, though. It has a Waffen-amped. Now, it's not at all uncommon to find Waffen-amps on small parts, but typically the final firing proof on these SVW guns, MBs, is the French star. Now, if you look at the serial, this one is really right at that cutoff. There are known German production guns in the B block, but we know by around 30,000 in the C block they were firmly in French production. And this one seems to be right in there, and it's interesting because typically your late German guns are your Kriegs model guns, people's guns, the simplified for late war guns. This one does have some late war features, but it also has some mid-war features, let's say. And it has one French feature, but not the others. So it's really an odd transitional gun. Now, first off, I will say that all the serials match except one. The bolt, safety assembly, receiver, barrel, even the front two barrel bands, even the trigger guard down here match. The only thing that doesn't match is the floor plate itself, which, to be fair, is a removable part. It may have never matched because late war, or the original could have been lost. So later features that it has: stamped floor plate, stamped trigger guard without capture screw holes for the main screws. Stamped rear and front barrel bands. Has the cut butt plate, which obviously was adopted early on. But then it has other features. For example, the barrel bands are held with a spring, not screwed on. It still has a bayonet lug. It still supports a cleaning rod, whereas your Kriegs models did not. And it still has an earlier style bolt with the more finely machined safety, and the bolt itself has the earlier style gas relief holes on the bottom. You can take my word for it. The bolt looks to be an earlier style. Plus it has more of a blued finish, not phosphate. And most tellingly, it has the takedown disc for the bolt in the stock, not in the butt plate, as on very late guns. So that's all just kind of standard German production. It's not really a Kriegs model, semi at best. Now, typically the French guns produced for them would not have the German bayonet lug. They would have their own. They would not have a cleaning rod, they would have a stacking rod. And they would have their own sling. The only feature that this has is the German rear sling swivel. Now, I put the sling on. This is honestly a little bit too late of a sling for this gun because it has the leather tab up here. You should have the earlier style French sling, but I just did a French sling on it for this video. So yeah, the stock is inletted for this sling bar. That's the only evidence of Frenchness. Otherwise, it's just an ambiguous gun. It's in good shape. The bore is really good. It doesn't appear to be fired much at all. Still got grease inside. And we haven't found any import mark yet. So, could have been a bring back or an early 50s, 60s inner arms type import. Nice trigger. Yeah, I mean, honestly, aside from the receiver marking, I wouldn't guess this to be a super late war gun. Late for sure, 44, but the features are just unusual. So any theories on this? I mean, my thought is it was kind of put together by previously rejected parts or guns that came in for repair that were repaired and put back into service, or at least parts from them. And then I didn't get the French firing proof. Maybe it was already proof tested, and so they didn't do it themselves, but they just slapped a sling on it and used it. I don't know. What do you think? Kind of an odd gun of the day, and we don't do a lot of Mauser content, so I thought this might be kind of fun. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Greatly appreciate you tuning in. As always, if you could, like, share, and subscribe. And if you'd like to help support the channel, please check out the link to our Patreon page. This is Misha, and we'll catch you very soon next time.